International. You will not miss a single major political or economic event. Radio Algeria International, our voice in the world.
This is the English service of Radio Algeria International. It's time for the news.
Entrusted by the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, the Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, General Saeed Shingriha, has offered his condolences and signed the condolence book at the Libyan Embassy in Algiers following the death of the Chief of Staff of the Libyan Army in a plane crash. The Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, has received at the Ministry headquarters the Japanese Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yohei Onishi, on an official visit to Algeria, according to a statement from the ministry. And in Sudan, the Rapid Support Forces RSF are holding more than 100 women and girls who were kidnapped during the capture of the towns of Rabba Nusa in the west in West Kordofan state, report on Thursday the Sudanese Doctors Network. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail from Radio Algeria International. First, in our news, the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, has awarded the Medal of the Order of National Merit in the rank of Ahid to the war veteran, writer, and scholar Sheikh Mohammed Salah Siddiq in recognition of his scientific and religious career and his outstanding contributions to the dissemination of the values of moderation, balance, and tolerance. The medal ceremony was presided over yesterday at the Mufti Zakaria Palace of Culture in Algiers by the Minister of Culture and Arts, Malika Bendouda, and the President's Advisor on Education, Higher Education, Vocational Training and Culture, Nasruddin Ben Fitur, in the presence of a number of ministers, the Secretary General of the Ministry of National Defense, and several national and cultural figures. The President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, has received in Algiers the rector of the Grand Mosque of Paris, Shamsuddin Hafiz. The meeting took place in the presence of the advisor to the Presidency of the Republic in charge of the Directorate General of Communication, Kamal Sidi Said. And on the instruction of the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, the Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, Army General Saeed Shingriha, has offered his condolences and signed the condolences book opened at the Libyan Embassy headquarters here in Algiers following the death of the Army General Muhammad Ali Ahmed Al-Haddad, Chief of Staff of the Libyan Army, and the delegation accompanying him in a plane crash, according to a statement from the Ministry of National Defense. Several political parties have welcomed the unanimous adoption of the bill criminalizing French colonization in Algeria, describing it as a historic step reflecting the Algerian state's commitment to national memory and a collective tribute to the sacrifices of the martyrs. Among these political parties are the National Liberation Front FLN Party, the National Democratic Rally RND, the Al Bina Movement, the Al Mustaqbal Front, the Tajamma Al Amal Al Jazair Taj Party, and the Movement of the Society for Peace MSP. The National Institute for Global Strategy Studies in the INESC has organized a scientific meeting in Algiers on the theme of social cohesion and wars of conscience, during which participants emphasized the importance of attachment to national values and the protection of society in order to face the challenges associated with this type of war, which has evolved rapidly alongside technological developments around the world. The meeting was organized in coordination with the National Economic, Social and Environmental Council, CNESO, the High Islamic Council, HCI, and the Algerian Academy of Sciences and Technologies, AAST, and was attended by representatives of several ministerial departments, national institutions, and organizations, as well as universities and research centers. Presiding over the opening ceremony of the conference, the Director General of INESC, Abdelaziz Mjahid, said that the meeting aimed to put ideas into practice in order to strengthen social cohesion and address all the challenges associated with wars of conscience. For his part, the president of Knesset, Mohammed Bukhari, warned against the manipulation of algorithms through social networks which aim to demoralize, create crises, destabilize, and attempt to cut the younger generations off from their historical heritage. The Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the National Community Abroad and African Affairs Ahmed Attaf has received at the ministry headquarters here in Algiers the Japanese Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Yoi Onishi on an official visit to Algeria, according to a statement from the ministry. The meeting was an opportunity to emphasize the need to raise economic cooperation between the two countries to the level of the privileged political relations that unite them, notably through concrete measures aimed at increasing the volume of bilateral trade and encouraging Japanese economic operators to expand their direct investment in Algeria. And in the same connection, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Lounas Magraman, has held a working meeting in Algiers with the Japanese Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yoi Onishi, on an official visit to Algeria, according to a statement from the ministry. This bilateral meeting was an opportunity to praise the quality of the historic friendship and cooperation between Algeria and Japan, as well as the recent dynamism marked by high-level visits on both sides and the convergence of views between the two countries on many regional and international issues of common interest. The Secretary General also congratulated the Japanese official for his country's resounding success in organizing the Expo Osaka 2025 World Exhibition, where Algeria distinguished itself through its active participation and won the silver medal for the best exterior design of its stand among the countries participating in this global event. And now to the Middle East, where the Zionist warplanes carried out intense airstrikes early today east of the city of Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip, as artillery shelling and demolitions continued across the eastern areas of the enclave. Local sources said that at least 4 airstrikes targeted eastern and southern parts of Khan Yunis, coinciding with heavy gunfire from occupation helicopters and military vehicles positioned east and south of the city. In Gaza City, Zionist occupation forces carried out widespread demolitions, destroying homes in the eastern neighborhoods, while warplanes also launched airstrikes targeting the same areas. In Rafah, meanwhile, Zionist helicopters opened heavy fire on residential neighborhoods, while occupation naval boats fired intensively into the waters off the coast of Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip. Since the ceasefire agreement in the Gaza Strip came into effect on October 10, at least 406 Palestinians have been killed and more than 1,118 others wounded in continued Zionist attacks. And the Al-Auda hospital, located in the refugee camp of Nusayrat in the south of the Gaza Strip, was deprived of electricity supply yesterday evening due to a fuel shortage, endangering the lives of dozens of patients, Palestinian media reported today. The same source said that this situation occurred following the refusal by the Zionist entity to allow the transport of the quantities of fuel which are provided for by the ceasefire agreement signed on October 10. According to medical sources at the hospital, the generators completely shut down after running out of fuel, adding that this power outage affected all the services of the hospital except those which were with backup batteries, while the needs of new and critically ill patients are increasing. And the non-governmental organization Doctors of the World has denounced the new rules of the registration of NGOs imposed by the Zionist entity, pointing out that the growing questioning of the work of the humanitarian organizations in the Gaza Strip is part of a long-term delegitimization strategy. Saad Boughaz has more details.
The president of the NGO Doctors of the World, Jean-François Cortis, said that today the Zionist entity is in a process of delegitimization of NGOs, which is not new, referring first and foremost to the loss of life. According to the president of this NGO, this process of delegitimization has begun by killing us. Then it continued by preventing that the aid comes in proportionately for 2 years. And it continues to this day, he said, citing notably the loss of life among the staff of the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, Doctors of the World and Doctors Without Borders. According to the NGO, since October 2023, more than 400 humanitarian workers and more than 1,300 health workers have been killed in the besieged Gaza Strip. The president of Doctors of the World also questioned the restrictions on information. He said that conditions are created to make work more difficult, not only for journalists who still cannot return, but also humanitarian organizations, underlining that these NGOs are at the same time engaged both in the operational and in the testimony which disturbs the Zionist entity.
And in Sudan, the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, are holding more than 100 women and girls who were kidnapped during the capture of the town of Banasusa in West Kordofan State, reported on Thursday, the Sudan Doctors Network. Said Bougazi has more details again.
The Sudan Doctors Network reported that 29 teenage girls and 73 women were arrested under the pretext that members of their family were linked to the regular army. They were transferred to El Muglad, about 50 kilometers south of Baba Nusa, where they would be detained in extremely precarious humanitarian conditions, deprived of the most basic health needs, food and psychological care. The organization denounces a blatant violation of international humanitarian law, stressing that the detention of women and children is prohibited by all conventions prohibiting the targeting of civilians or using them as a means of pressure during armed conflicts. It also warns of the serious health risks faced by the prisoners in the context of lack of care and the spread of epidemics. The situation in Sudan has worsened in April 2023 due to disagreements between the president of the country's Sovereignty Council and Army Commander Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the head of the RSF Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo. The clashes that erupted in Khartoum quickly spread to other parts of the country. According to experts' estimates, the conflict has killed at least 40,000 people and pushed nearly 14 million Sudanese to exile, many of whom were on the verge of starvation. Currently, the most difficult situation is unfolding in Darfur and Kordofan, areas mainly controlled by the Rapid Support Forces.
And still in Africa, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mohammed Ali Yusuf, has congratulated the Somali people on the successful holding of their first direct local elections in nearly 60 years, which took place in the capital Mogadishu on Thursday. In a post on the AU's official social media page, Mohammed Ali Yusuf hailed the smooth and peaceful running of the electoral process, indicating that it represents an important step, or first step, in Somalia's ongoing efforts to strengthen democratic governance and consolidate elected institutions at both the local and national levels. He emphasized that the local elections contribute to supporting participatory governance and provide valuable practical experience as Somalia progresses on its political and electoral path based on national leadership, thus enhancing popular participation in decision-making. Meanwhile, the chairperson of the African Union Commission called on all Somali political parties to continue their constructive engagement through dialogue and inclusive consultation, which will support national unity and promote long-term stability, while affirming the African Union's commitment to continuing to support the Somali people in their efforts to strengthen inclusive governance, consolidate peace, and achieve lasting stability in the country. And with this last piece of news, we come to the end of this news bulletin for today. Time now for a weekly program, a cultural program, compiled and presented by my colleague Jamal Silmani. As for me, I'll meet you again tomorrow for a fresh edition of our news bulletin. Thank you and bye-bye.
Hello to your weekly program, Destination Algeria. I'm Jamal Silmani. There are a number of great destinations in Algeria that waiting to be discovered. A curious mixture of cultures and influences. Algeria has something interesting to see in just about every city. The country is also the first largest on the African continent, so you can be sure that there are plenty of towns and cities to visit. Let's visit Algeria's fascinating destinations, you and I, together. Amsel is a small town situated just south of Tamanrasset province. Tamanrasset or Tamanrasset is a province in southern Algeria in the Ahagar Mountains. Tamanrasset is the chief city of the Algerian Tuareg. Very near to Amsel, you will find the huge Ahagar Mountains, also known as the Hogar. They are situated in the middle of the Sahara Desert in the southern part of Algeria. The Ahagar mountain region is mainly a rocky desert area with an average altitude of more than 900 meters above sea level. The highest peak, Tahat, is at 2,918 meters above sea level. A celebrated and especially visited point is the Askram, where Charles de Foucault lived in the summer of 1905. Amsel is a lovely destination for a day trip, and it is a wonderful retreat during the busy summer months. The town has a great reservoir, and swimming is allowed. The water of the reservoir is clean and clear and usually has a nice cool temperature. Amsel itself is very much a stranded town with very few attractions to see. But it's worthwhile to stroll around the shops for a bit of relaxation and bargain hunting. As long as you keep in mind that Amsel is a small village situated right in the middle of the Sahara Desert, you'll be fine. Amsel has a typical desert climate. It is very hot and sometimes unbearable in the summer. In sharp contrast, winter temperatures often fall well below 0 degrees Celsius. Rainfall is very rare and sporadic. However, since the climate is less extreme than most other areas of the Sahara, Amsel is a major location for biodiversity. Today, Amsel and Tamanrasset province is a prime tourist destination in Algeria. In the first part of our program, I mentioned the name Charles de Foucault. In the second part, we will tell you more about him with Mohamed Barazwan.
Forming part of the Ahagar Mountains, also known as the Hogar Mountains in southern Algeria, the Askram is a spectacular collection of narrow mountain peaks in shades of brown and ochre, which have been artistically carved by the elements. This geological wonder attracts visitors from far and wide, while awestruck by its natural beauty. The Asquam is also renowned for being the site of the hermitage of Charles de Foucault, which is now the retreat of Little Brothers of Jesus, who continue the humanitarian work he started back in 1910. Charles-Jean de Foucault was born into an aristocratic family in Strasbourg, France, on the 15th of September 1858. He became a Trappist monk in 1890, left Morocco in 1897, and traveled to Algeria to live a life of ascetic solitude. He founded a hermitage in Beni Abbas, Algeria, and welcomed visitors regardless of their religion, social status, or ethnic origin. Later on, Charles de Foucault moved to Tamanrasset in southern Algeria to be with the Tuareg people. He used the highest point of the Ahagara Mountains, the Asquam, as a place to establish his hermitage. He associated closely with the Tuareg for a period of more than 10 years, during which time he studied their cultural traditions and worked on a dictionary and the grammar of the Tuareg language. Charles de Foucault died in 1916, just outside Tamanrasset. The dictionary was published in 4 volumes after his death, with rich and accurate descriptions. Charles de Foucault was considered to be a martyr of the Catholic Church and was beatified by Pope Benedict XVI on the 13th of November 2005. Visitors to the Asquam will not fail to agree with Charles de Foucault, whose words are inscribed in a book of his writings at the Hermitage. Quote, "The beauty of the view defies description or even imagination. It is marvelous." Unquote.
Located in the Bagna province here in Algiers, the Belezma National Park is considered to be one of the most important national parks in this vast biodiverse country. Created in 1984 and covering an area of more than 262 square kilometers, the climate in Belezma National Park ranges from a dry semi-arid climate to a cool sub-humid climate, creating a variety of habitats for an even greater variety of wildlife. Belezma National Park is home to more than 440 species of flora and in excess of 300 species of fauna, 59 of which have the status of being protected. The Cuvier's gazelle, for example, is one of the protected species in the Belezma National Park. It is believed that there are only approximately 2,000 of these beautiful endangered animals remaining in 8 northern African nature reserves, including the Belezma National Park. The Dorcas gazelle is particularly suited to life in desert conditions. Although they enjoy a drink of water when they can get it, these graceful animals are able to survive their entire lives without drinking water by getting all the moisture they need from the plants they eat. The Dorcas gazelle is on the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List of Threatened Species and is protected in the Belezma National Park. Atlas Barbary sheep, which is a species of goat antelope, is becoming a rare sight in its native North African habitat, although it has been introduced into parts of the United States. Visitors to the Belezma National Park may spot one of these elusive, solitary animals as they graze among any available plants in the semi-arid areas of the park. As rock dwellers, these sure-footed sheep find food and water in places which other grazing animals cannot reach, and this increases their ability to survive in seemingly inhospitable conditions. Algeria's most endangered animal is the serval, an attractive medium-sized white cat. This slender, long-legged feline generally has bold dark spots on tawny-colored fur, although variations do occur. The preferred habitat of a serval is the savanna, with a readily available water supply. Although the serval is a master of camouflage, visitors to the Belezma National Park stand a good chance of seeing this increasingly rare animal. With more than 300 species of animals resident in the Belezma National Park, even if visitors don't manage to catch sight of the more elusive and rare species, there is still plenty to see in this beautiful part of Algeria.